What did you do to my wife's hair? Mr. Julian Vance's voice thunders, silencing the upscale chic main salon as he storms in. His custom black Tesla Cybertruck, a vehicle that turns heads even in this affluent district, gleams under the midday sun outside. A deliberate sabotage has turned Dr. Imani Kalu's lustrous black hair a garish green and purple, threatening her confidence before a career-defining moment. But what happens next will leave you speechless. Hey listeners, where are you tuning in from? Drop your city in the comments and tell us. Will Dr. Imani rise above this humiliation, or will the insidious prejudice lurking beneath the surface finally win? Stick around to find out how a billionaire's wrath and a black woman's unwavering resilience flip the script. Don't miss a second of this drama. Hit that subscribe button to catch our latest stories and share where you're watching from. Can Dr. Imani turn betrayal into triumph, and what deep-seated secrets will unravel in this high-stakes showdown? Keep listening to uncover the truth. The crisp spring air hung over the bustling city of Nexusburg, casting a bright sheen across the modern glass facades of downtown's elite district, where Dr. Imani Kalu stepped from a sleek, dark SUV onto the polished sidewalk. Her long, glossy black hair cascaded over the shoulders of her elegant, tailored suit, a powerful statement of understated authority. At 42, Dr. Imani was a vision of grace and grit, her intelligent eyes lit with the fire of boundless ambition, reflecting the vibrant energy of the metropolis. As the founder of Quantum Leap Tech, a groundbreaking artificial intelligence startup, she had shattered industry ceilings, outsmarted seasoned venture capitalists, and built an empire from sheer will, proving every skeptic wrong with her ingenuity and determination. Today, at 2 p.m., she was to seal a multi-billion-dollar deal, a partnership with a global conglomerate that could catapult her company into the global spotlight, cementing her legacy. This appointment at Chic Salon was meant to be a final touch of perfection, a moment of calm before the storm of a monumental negotiation. Inside, the salon buzzed with an air of exclusivity, the scent of expensive products mingling with the soft hum of hairdryers. Crystal chandeliers glittered overhead, reflecting off polished marble floors. Dr. Imani approached the front desk, where a young woman with a perfectly coiffed blonde ponytail, who introduced herself as Miss Bethany, barely looked up from her tablet. Miss Bethany's uniform was pristine. Her smile, however, was conspicuously absent. "Appointment?" Miss Bethany asked, her tone flat, bordering on bored, not meeting Dr. Imani's gaze. Her fingers tapped impatiently on the screen. "Dr. Imani Kalu, with Mr. Sterling for 2 p.m., Imani stated, her voice calm but firm, a stark contrast to the receptionist's indifference. Miss Bethany finally looked up, her blue eyes briefly flicking over Imani's designer suit, a faint, almost imperceptible sneer playing on her lips before her gaze dropped back to the tablet. "Ah, yes. The Mr. Sterling is running behind. Significantly. You'll have to wait." She gestured dismissively to a row of plush but clearly unoccupied chairs in a far corner, away from the salon's vibrant main area. As minutes stretched into 45 minutes, Dr. Imani watched, her patience wearing thin as other clients, predominantly white and seemingly of a certain caliber, as Miss Bethany had implied to another stylist, were ushered in immediately, often with effusive greetings. She overheard snippets of conversations about luxury vacations and exclusive club memberships. Her phone buzzed with an important pre-meeting email, but she couldn't focus. Then, Mr. Sterling himself emerged from a back room, his usually jovial face now etched with a strange, almost nervous tension. He was chatting animatedly with a woman whose platinum blonde hair gleamed under the salon lights, Madame Serena Dubois, a notorious rival CEO of Apex Innovations, known for her ruthless business tactics and underhanded dealings. Madame Serena flashed a triumphant, condescending smile at Dr. Imani, a gesture that sent a chill down Imani's spine, a premonition of something sinister. "This salon caters to excellence, dear." Madame Serena purred, her eyes flicking to Imani's, a hint of malice in her tone. "Some simply understand that better than others." Finally, after an agonizing hour and 15 minutes, Mr. Sterling, a man whose reputation for precision and artistry in hair coloring preceded him, called Dr. Imani's name. As he began on her hair, Dr. Imani noticed he was unusually agitated. He was usually meticulous, but today his movements seemed hurried, almost clumsy, his attention fragmented. He excused himself multiple times, making hushed calls and disappearing into a back room for suspicious lengths of time. Dr. Imani felt an unsettling unease settle over her, a growing dread. She saw Madame Serena exchanging secretive, triumphant glances with Miss Bethany, a faint, almost sinister smirk on their faces as they occasionally glanced in her direction. Imani's gut tightened. Something was terribly wrong. When Mr. Sterling finally announced he was done, his voice oddly strained, Dr. Imani looked in the mirror and her heart plummeted into her stomach. Her once glossy black hair now sported jarring streaks of lurid green and purple, bleeding unevenly through the strands. It was not merely a mistake. It was a blatant, deliberate, and undeniably malicious sabotage. The color bled haphazardly, making it impossible to pass off as a bold, avant-garde style. Miss Bethany stood nearby, a smug, barely suppressed smile plastered across her face, mirroring Madame Serena's thinly veiled mockery. Panic set in. How could she possibly walk into a multi-billion-dollar deal looking like this? Her carefully crafted image, her professionalism, her confidence all felt shattered in an instant. Just as despair threatened to consume her, as she felt the eyes of every client and stylist in the salon on her, the salon's automatic doors hissed open, and a sudden, profound hush fell over the room. Every head snapped towards the entrance. Mr. Julian Vance, Dr. Imani's husband, walked in. His presence was a tangible force, tall, impeccably dressed in a sharp custom suit that spoke of quiet power. His dark eyes, usually warm and loving, now held a steely, dangerous glint as they scanned the room, landing with chilling precision on Imani's sabotaged hair. He had received a cryptic, one-word text from Imani minutes ago. Trouble. That was all he needed. The low, powerful rumble of his custom black Tesla Cybertruck, parked conspicuously at the curb outside, seemed to vibrate through the very foundations of the building, a silent, menacing roar. "What did you do to my wife's hair?" he repeated, his voice resonating with controlled fury, yet carrying a weight that commanded immediate attention. Mr. Sterling stammered, his face pale. An accident, sir. A mixing error, I swear." But Julian wasn't listening to the feeble excuses. His gaze was fixed on the stylist, his expression unyielding. He pulled out his phone, a sleek, quantum leap prototype, gleaming with cutting-edge technology, and with a few swift taps, a seamless holographic projection shimmered in the air above him, drawing every eye in the salon. It showed a live, crystal-clear feed from hidden cameras he had discreetly installed in the salon weeks ago, a silent security measure after a previous subtle incident involving Imani that had gone unnoticed. The footage clearly showed Mr. Sterling, under the direct, whispered instruction of Madame Serena, and with the conniving assistance of Miss Bethany, deliberately mixing the wrong, incompatible chemicals into Imani's dye formula. But then, the footage continued, revealing a shocking twist that made gasps ripple through the stunned salon. Madame Serena was not just a rival, she was secretly the true owner of Chic Manet Salon, having acquired it through a complex web of shell companies just last month. Her plan, laid bare by the visual evidence, to subtly humiliate Dr. Imani, sabotage her appearance, and discredit her on the very day of her crucial deal, thus clearing the path for Madame Serena's own company, Apex Innovations, to snatch the lucrative multi-billion-dollar partnership. Mr. Sterling, seeing his own downfall imminent, dropped to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "She threatened my family, Mr. Vance. Madame Serena said she'd ruin me, destroy my career, expose false rumors about me if I didn't cooperate," he wailed, pointing an accusing finger at Madame Serena, who stood frozen, her face a mask of horror. Just then, the holographic projection shifted, revealing another, even more profound layer of deception that left the onlookers dazed and truly wowed. The Tesla Cybertruck outside wasn't merely a vehicle or a mobile surveillance hub for the salon. It was Julian's personal command center, packed with proprietary quantum leap tech intelligence gathering systems. As Julian spoke, the truck's advanced network had been quietly sweeping local frequencies, intercepting a real-time encrypted conversation between Madame Serena and an unknown party. The intercepted audio, now playing for everyone in the salon, raw and undeniable, confirmed Madame Serena's grand scheme. This hair sabotage was merely a malicious test run for a larger, far more aggressive campaign. Her aim was to systematically undermine quantum leap tech by planting false, damaging information in major media outlets, specifically targeting Dr. Imani's personal integrity and professional credibility. The voice on the other end of the call, muffled but chillingly recognizable to several of the journalists Julian's team had already discreetly contacted, belonged to a prominent, unscrupulous journalist known for yellow journalism and biased reporting. The plot was far deeper, more intricate, and more sinister than just a salon humiliation. It was an elaborate corporate hit job. Julian's eyes narrowed, a cold fire in their depths. I believe this constitutes not only corporate espionage and harassment, but also a direct threat to public trust and fair competition, he stated calmly, but with an edge of steel that promised severe repercussions. Within minutes, his legal team, already on standby, swarmed into the salon, their faces grim and determined. Close behind them, a local news crew, having been tipped off by Julian's public relations team with just enough intriguing detail, burst through the doors, cameras rolling, microphones thrust forward. Dr. Imani, her composure now fully restored by Julian's unwavering support and the shocking revelations, stepped forward, her head held high. Miss Bethany, Mr. Sterling, and Madame Dubois, she began, her voice clear, resonant, and filled with quiet authority. You have made a grave mistake, one that will have profound consequences. The chic Manet salon quickly descended into controlled chaos as reporters swarmed, snapping photos and shouting questions. Mr. Sterling, desperate for a sliver of leniency, pointed directly at Madame Serena, his voice trembling. She's been paying me for months to provide her with information on high-profile clients, especially black women with big deals. She wants to monopolize the tech and beauty sectors. She preys on insecurity and uses it for profit, he confessed, his voice cracking, pouring out months of suppressed guilt and fear. Madame Serena, her face ashen, her carefully constructed facade crumbling, tried to deny it, but the combined, irrefutable evidence from Julian's Tesla's advanced surveillance and Mr. Sterling's desperate confession was overwhelming. There was no escape. In a stunning display of skill and unwavering loyalty, a junior stylist named Miss Olivia, who had been quietly observing the entire ordeal, her eyes wide with shock, stepped forward. Dr. Imani, she said, her voice small but determined. I can fix this. I always carry emergency corrective dyes for such accidents, though I've never seen one this deliberate. With steady, professional hands and remarkable speed, she began to work, her movements precise and confident, neutralizing the garish colors and meticulously restoring Imani's hair to its original, lustrous, beautiful black. It was a small act of defiance, but a powerful one. Just an hour later, Dr. Imani Kalu, her hair impeccable once more, walked into the boardroom, not a hint of her earlier ordeal visible. The news of the salon incident, sensational and shocking, had already begun to circulate, but instead of humiliation, it ignited a wave of public support and admiration for her resilience. The potential partners, already impressed by her groundbreaking technology, were now profoundly moved by her strength and grace under immense pressure. With renewed determination, Dr. Imani delivered a flawless presentation, and the multi-billion-dollar deal was not only signed but expanded. Madame Serena Dubois was immediately arrested on multiple counts of corporate espionage, fraud, and attempted defamation, facing a long and challenging legal battle. Chic Manet Salon was shut down by authorities the very next day, its reputation irrevocably tarnished, its practices exposed. Miss Bethany faced legal charges for her complicity, and Mr. Sterling, due to his full cooperation and genuine remorse, received a lighter sentence and entered a witness protection program, leaving Nexusburg behind. That evening, as the Nexusburg skyline glittered with a million lights under the vast, inky night sky, Dr. Imani stood on the expansive penthouse balcony of her Quantum Leap Tech headquarters, a glass of celebratory champagne in her hand. Mr. Julian Vance stood beside her, his arm gently around her waist, their reflections mirroring in the glass. What's next for the unstoppable Dr. Kalu? He asked, his voice a gentle challenge, filled with love and pride. Imani's smile widened, a blaze of boundless ambition reflected in her eyes. "Everything," she said, and the word was a vow, a spark that would ignite the next, even more extraordinary chapter of her empire. The soft jazz music from inside faded, leaving only the city's distant hum and their shared silence, a profound language of love, triumph, and an unshakable partnership. Dr. Imani Kalu was no longer merely the woman who'd stepped into Sheikh Mane's salon that morning. She was a titan, her light undimmed, her legacy forged in fire and fierce resilience. And as the stars emerged, shimmering above Nexusburg, Dr. Imani knew this was just the beginning. What a journey Dr. Imani's triumph has been. We hope her story of resilience and victory left you inspired, perhaps even dazed and wowed by the twists and turns. What did you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Did Dr. Imani's unwavering strength resonate with you, or did Mr. Julian's fierce loyalty and his impressive Tesla Cybertruck steal the show? Your feedback fuels our stories and helps us bring you more compelling content. A huge thank you for joining us tonight, for sharing this triumphant moment under Nexusburg's glittering skyline. Your support means the world to us. So, hit that subscribe button and join us next time for more tales of courage, heart, and unexpected turns. Until we meet again, keep shining like Dr. Imani and let us know where you're listening from.